As well as whole disk encryption, partition encryption, container encryption, you can encrypt individual files or archives of files. For Windows, Linux and BSD, I recommend pzip, which is a free and open source file compression archiver that also has encryption. pzip has a focus for security and supports multiple encryption standards for archives and optionally using two-factor authentication, a password and a key file for increased security. If you go with 7-zip, you've got AES-256 encryption. If you go with ARC, you've got AES-256, Blowfish, Serpent, etc. So plenty of options there. For Linux, there's no repository available, so download the corresponding file here. Devs, RPMs. There's one built here, the GTK, for GNOME desktop and alternatives, and one created in Qt for KDE. If you have problems with dependencies, then you can just use the portable version to solve the problem. And this is what it looks like, just a standard archiver, much like WinZip or RAR. And you can enter a password and key file here. For Mac, the options are limited. Here you can see this is Keka. This is available for free, but it does suggest donations in order for the project to continue. There is a GUI for it, but it is quite a limited GUI. You can see here the compression formats that are supported, so it's quite a few, and the extraction formats here, which is quite a few. And if you look here, you can see what the GUI looks like. And simply what you do is you double click and it extracts a file. And it's pretty much as simple as that. And if you want to compress and add encryption, then what you do is you would select the one that you would want to use. It uses AES-256 as default. So here we've got selected zip. And we get our file here, we just simply drag it across and it will be compressed, as you can see here. So if we delete that, but if we want to encrypt it, then we need to add our password here and then we drag it across. Then that will be password protected with AES-256, and if we want to open it, then we just need to enter the password. And there you go. So that's Keka for Mac. Another option for file encryption is AES Crypt, which, as you can see here, supports Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, Linux, PHP, Java, etc. But to send an encrypted file to the person for them to be able to decrypt it, they also need AES Crypt too. But as you can see, it's supported on lots of platforms, and it's also got a command line option as well, which is nice. Here you can see an example of it in Windows, just right clicking and AES Crypt, and there's the command line for it as well. So yep, AES Crypt, that's pretty good as well. Another option to encrypt files is GPG, and especially if you're wanting to send it via email or you have the public key of your recipient, you can encrypt it specifically for them, and this will make it much easier for distribution of keys for the encryption. We cover this in the section on email security, but I'm just adding it here just so that you know and remember that GPG can also be used for file encryption. Obviously it's public private key encryption, so like I said, it's easy to exchange the keys. And that's available here, and it's available for all the major operating systems, Windows, Mac and Linux. But check out the email security section for more on that. So those are my recommended tools for file encryption, most of them using AES.